Hello everyone, Markystal here, and we're going to be doing another little video covering virtual reality careers. In the last one, we covered the technology-related careers that are going to be needed in order to continually improve the virtual reality experience. In this video, we're going to be covering the content creation careers that are going to be beneficial towards creating things to do within those new virtual worlds. Overall, for content creation, VR isn't really going to be changing things all that much. There are some changes that are going to happen, mind you, but in terms of actual career spectrum, there really aren't going to be that many new careers introduced thanks to the creation of VR in terms of content creation. So for those of you writers out there, modelers, animators, game designers, musicians, photographers, cinematographers, filmmakers, programmers, all those careers can be applied to VR with relatively minimal school or learning that's going to be required. It's more or less a wild, wild west right now, so basically comes as whoever finds it works with it. So if you can make something work, good for you. So what really is going to be the difference from virtual reality to regular old content creation? The priorities, the techniques used, your options, and the significance. For people like 3D animators and modelers, your careers are probably going to receive a massive boon should virtual reality come into the forefront, because you're going to have a megaton more content and a brand new vector of entertainment to provide people. Under normal circumstances, a nice 3D model can be viewed and enjoyed on a computer monitor. But guys, seeing Hatsune Miku via Miku Miku Dance on a computer did not compare to my first time looking at her via the Miku Entertainment Sphere on my DK2. I actually cried when I saw that. So it just goes to show that certain things which would normally not have a significant amount of effect on us on a normal circumstance can just downright hit us hard within the virtual reality medium. For game designers, you're going to have an entirely new vector of design to explore, along with a wide variety of tools you're going to be able to work with to craft specific experiences. And programmers, all the software from before that I mentioned in the VR tech video, yep, there's just going to be a wide influx of software that's going to need to be recreated to take advantage of VR strengths. Even more IRL-centric careers such as photography or filmmaking and writing, all your careers can very much transfer into virtual reality if you make some changes. Writers, for the most part, you guys have been rather versatile, so really VR is just going to be a brand new way to observe your content. But for those of you out there that are going to be things such as photographers, filmmakers, you're going to be able to record things using 360-degree cameras and all sorts of other technologies to bring things that are normally IRL-centric into the VR space. You're going to have an entirely new way in which you can make people enjoy your content. Even if you're just going to take regular 2D content, I personally think it's going to be a lot more fun watching 2D content in VR with my friends beside me as 3D models than it's going to be than sitting in front of a monitor normally alone on a Friday night. God, I'm lonely. All in all, based on the description I provided, one would think that virtual reality is just going to bring all net positives. However, that isn't exactly the case. Because the thing is, there's one thing I found that VR is going to demand a lot more than other mediums in comparison. And that thing is polish. Modelers, animators, game designers, your work is going to be under a whole new level of scrutiny the moment virtual reality takes the forefront. At this moment in time, in the early stages, you might be able to get away with some nice little shortcuts and tricks here and there, but things such as small model imperfections, normal maps being slightly worked off, bad textures, and a bunch of other things just don't work quite as well in VR as they do in regular 2D mediums. All of this is punctuated by one big note that I believe everyone who decides to go into VR content creation must be aware of. With VR, you're going to be capable of both pleasuring people and significantly hurting people. Conditions like post-traumatic stress disorder, addiction, and traumas can all be both instigated and potentially even induced using virtual reality. So if you create poor content, you could potentially hurt somebody for life or cause a significant impact in their psychological health. Motion sickness is as much a thing in virtual reality as it is IRL, so you could probably make somebody go 100,000 miles per hour in a simulation, but just think what going 100,000 miles per hour will do to you IRL. Just be prepared to see if somebody decides to sue you because you made them puke in an experience that wasn't advertised as being potentially nauseous. Are you a programmer? Congratulations, you've got a heck of a ton of more jobs, but just know that every single little failure in your program could potentially hurt somebody and undo all the safety measures that the designers put in to try to prevent people from getting hurt. This is all at the current stage that we're at with virtual reality, let alone once we start integrating things even more with the internet, pain sensing, and all the other senses. Can you imagine? Even a single very good exploit or hack, an online MMO, could potentially lead to a huge portion or a small portion of your user base being virtually trolled in a new level. Right now, trolling is limited to a monitor and sound. In VR, you could have somebody raped or tortured. Think about that for a moment. And we have no legal legislations in place right now to protect anyone against that. So just know when you're programming or creating your VR content that you must think not only of how this could bring benefits to the user, but how they could possibly be hurt. This is going to go a lot into the VR manufacturing phases eventually, and possibly lead to certain aspects of our experience just plain old being negated, period, within the virtual space, having hardware limitations to prevent people from having pain. But that won't always work, and it likely won't always be there, so you're going to have to prepare for the occasions whereby things can fail. So it's just a huge note of warning for anybody who is creating VR content. You have the ability to bring unimaginable amounts of pleasure to people, but likewise know that the very tool that you're using to pleasure people can likewise be used to hurt them. So please be aware of this if you decide to work within virtual reality for content creation. Well then everyone, that just about does it for my quick little thoughts on some virtual reality content creation careers. There's probably a lot more that could be said in terms of how virtual reality will change the workflow and other such things for things, especially with 3D modeling and other virtually oriented careers. But I think that deserves its own video in its own right. Although if you really do want to see a little bit of what I'm talking about, I suggest going to YouTube and looking up the video World Builder. It's this short film video, I believe, that was created by Film FX, I believe. I'll leave the link down below in the description or here in an annotation. But just go check out the video. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I apologize for the delay in the videos for the past few while. The holidays kind of screwed up my schedule for a huge bunch of things, and I've got a lot going on. But anyway, if you want to keep up to date with the latest things that I'm doing, do remember to follow me on Twitter, @MarkystalVR. Also, now you can check out the Virtual Dreamers blog. I'll have a link down below in the description, and here as an annotation. Do note, everyone, I'm actually working on the design document for my 2015 virtual reality rig. I'll be sure to add plenty of illustrations, writings, and a bunch of other things to help make it less of a huge wall of text that it was last year. And do note, there have been some significant changes due to philosophy and design ethics that I'm going to be testing out, so be sure to check that out when it comes out on the blog. Do remember to rate, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to help out the channel. I'll be sure to do whatever I can in order to post more virtual reality related content for the channel. Well then everyone, thank you very much for watching this video. This has been Markystal, logging out.